Michael, who runs the Peaky Blinders operations in the United States, gets a message that Wall Street has crashed and leaves for Birmingham with his wife Gina Gray. Meanwhile, Tommy gets the news from Arthur about the stock market crash and becomes furious after learning that Michael held on even after being instructed not to do so.
Michael held on.
Finn, with the desire to prove himself, joins them and during a shootout gets shot in the arm. Linda is infuriated by the fact that Tommy made Arthur the chairman of the company so that he could maintain a clean image and let others do his dirty work. Polly tells Tommy and Arthur that Ada is pregnant.
She's pregnant.
At his mansion, Tommy gets a call from era agent Captain Swing, who informs him that she has captured Michael from the men who supposedly want to kill Tommy and asks whether to spare him or kill him. As per Tommy's request, Michael walks free. Tommy and Ada meet with Mosley, where Tommy tells Mosley that Ada advised against meeting him as he seems to be moving in the direction of fascism.
My name's Mosley.
Polly and Arthur go to the station to receive Michael, where he introduces Gina. At the Garrison pub, Tommy tells Arthur that he doesn't sleep because he dreams that someone wants his crown and that it might be Michael. Michael tells his side of story that he wanted a witness for his and Gina's wedding, and he found a purser whose friends at the dock came on board and started talking to Michael about Tommy having a bullet in his name. And that's when Era caught him and told him that the men he was talking to were the Billy Boys. Meanwhile, in a forest, the Billy Boys shoot Aberama in the shoulder and kill Bonnie after crucifying him. A wounded Aberama goes to Tommy's house with Johnny Dogs, whom he supposes to be the traitor, as he and the Lees were the only ones that knew about their position. Aberama parts to Scotland to wage war against the Billy Boys in revenge for Bonnie's death. Arthur, falling deeper in decay through alcohol and cocaine abuse, agrees to go to Scotland in exchange for the whereabouts of one of Linda's friends, whom he ends up beating, blinding, and disfiguring when he fails to get Linda's whereabouts. Linda herself wishes to divorce from Arthur, but Lizzie discourages her. Despite Ada attempting to sway otherwise, Gina is adamant on departing with Michael back to New York so they can have their unborn son, and tries to convince Polly to go along. Mosley, in a meeting with Tommy, Arthur, and Michael, utilizes his leverage of withholding investigations of the murder of Mr. Levitt to coerce Tommy into joining the soon-to-be-created British Union of Fascists. Tommy reluctantly agrees in order to infiltrate their organization and become an informant. In Scotland, Aberama and his men have a violent confrontation with a group of Billy Boys. McCavern and the Billy Boys seek retaliation against Aberama by raiding his camp, only to discover it has been booby-trapped with grenades planted by Arthur and Aberama, killing several of McCavern's men.
It's war you shall have.
Tommy and Arthur meet with Brilliant Chang, a Chinese triad businessman who uses an assassin posing as a hooker to hold Finn at gunpoint to discuss a lucrative opium shipment, whose value is promised to make up for the losses at the Wall Street crash. Tommy meets with McCavern to form a truce, especially given their mutual connection to Mosley, and uses this to test the opium shipment to keep the truce. Tommy forces Aberama to withhold his quest for vengeance, offering a marriage to Polly in return, despite attempting to both hold his House of Commons standing, and his agreement with Mosley continues hallucinating about Grace to the point of almost committing suicide, as he confesses to Ada, who in turn suggests he withdraw from opium himself. In an eventful private exhibition of Swan Lake in Tommy's estate, which Mosley attends, Aberama proposes to Polly, who accepts. Michael tells Gina that he will be taking on the Peaky Blinders opium business, and lured by the amount of money they will earn, Gina accepts. Arthur is confronted by Linda, who attempts to shoot him in retaliation for Arthur disfiguring her friend, but is shot by Polly. Tommy, Polly, and Arthur tend to Linda's gunshot wound, and as she recovers, she abandons Arthur. Mosley uses the stage at the end of the Swan Lake to make an impassionate speech concerning the advent of fascist movement in the United Kingdom, which all the Shelby family witness. Tommy attempts to deliver information and evidence to a hesitant Colonel Ben Younger, who informs him both the government, the Ministry of Defense, and Section D are all in support of Mosley, as they believe him to be a bulwark against a possible communist insurgency. As he leaves with the evidence, Ben is killed by a bomb in his car, which also kills a child playing football in the street,
Younger is dead.
who in turn reveals Ben wasn't aware of Ada's pregnancy with his child. Tommy meets with Barney Tomason, an old comrade from the Great War, and helps him escape from the insane asylum he is locked in exchange for assassinating Mosley. Tommy is called at the House of Commons by Churchill, who inquires Tommy on his affiliation with the fascist party, whom Tommy informs it's an infiltration. At a meeting, Michael and Gina attempt to propose a total restructuring of the Peaky Blinders company, which Tommy rebukes and Michael declares open rebellion, being cast out of the Peaky Blinders. Tommy then travels to Margate to ask for help from Alfie to stage a mutiny at Mosley's rally as a cover for the assassination. Polly later resigns from the company.
There will be a war, and one of you will die.
Finn accidentally spills the assassination plan to Billy Grade, who runs the fixed football racket, who makes a telephone call even though he receives a bribe for his silence. At the rally, Tommy saves Jesse from being arrested as the communists attempt a protest. The assassination plan backfired as Barney, who prepares to fire, is executed by an unknown person with a silencer pistol. Mosley's rally is a success as Tommy breaks down in the aftermath. And Aberama is killed when he attempts to kill McCavern. The following day, in the middle of the morning mist, his torment over last night's events and Grace's apparition drive Tommy over the edge, screaming as he keeps a pistol pointed to his head, intent on committing suicide.